Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Welcome to the good life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on the Good Life Friday, and I have a show for you. You know, on Friday I like to warm your heart and warm your soul, but today I'm going to crack you up, because y'all know I'm funny because y'all listen to me every day. That wasn't supposed to be funny.
Oh.
Today I have a studio full of comedians because they think they're funny, or because I think I'm funny. And I think if I surround myself with people who are funnier than me, then maybe they are funny. Rub off on me. It'll rub off on me.
Just stick with us.
Well, I'll stick with.
Mm-hmm.
Matt. I am here in the studio with Matt Owens and this man over here who thinks he's funny, Tony Frederick. But I guess sometimes you are funny.
Bruh.
You think you're funny. Well, anyway, Stand Up NOLA is tonight, y'all. It is tonight, an evening of New Orleans comedy. It is at the Joy Theater, December, Friday. Oh, I can't even get out. See, I'm really funny. December 11th, tonight, Friday, y'all. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8. Tony starts to be there at 8:15.
I open the show. Matt's going to host.
I'm just playing.
Matt's going to host. I'm going to open up.
Oh, then make sure you are there at 7 o'clock.
You have to be on time.
7 o'clock, just joking. 7 o'clock. Tickets are available at thejoytheater.com. That is www.thejoytheater.com. Thejoytheater.com. Make sure you do not miss it. Tonight, Stand Up NOLA, an evening of New Orleans comedy. But before I jump into the show, what is really going to make you move and get you warm and fuzzy is to have a brand new theme music for The Good Life. We are looking for breakout artists. We are looking for they think they're funny with their phones, but they're not. We are looking for any musicians. No, I'm just kidding. It's The Good Life. It's all good. It's all good. Any musicians, DJs, artists, songwriters, make sure that you email me your songs to Eileen@tglradioshow.com. That's EILEEN @tglradioshow.com. Eileen@tglradioshow.com by December 25th. And I actually had a listener call in yesterday, and I was very excited about his thoughts. So anybody who has an idea, you can give us a call at 504-260-9265. 504-260-9265, because that is The Good Life. It's going to be my theme music. It will be played daily. And so I wanted to get your input. And somebody gave me an idea about putting some positivity, because I played this really powerful message on Wellness Wednesday. And I like to do stuff like that because it gets me motivated. So I might do that with my theme music, put a little motivation.
Do that.
Are you motivated?
I'm motivated, babe. I had my coffee.
I love your theme song, though.
Dude, I know, but here's the problem.
It's hard to get rid of.
It's Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
I want to. That's a little bit of a problem. Well, the thing is, I'm growing, and so.
Now somebody noticed you.
Yeah. Well, I sent my information out to iHeartMedia and to have an iHeartRadio channel, and they were like, "Yes, it's a great show, but guess what? You have to have your own theme music, or you have to pay Kanye West." So I had to pick one. I said, should I have my own theme music, or should I pay Kanye West? So I figured out when I walk on Ellen that I should have my own theme music rather than pay Kanye West.
Yeah, I did. I made the same mistake. I had this incredible show. I was headlining this show, and I had this great idea for the opening of the show. I was gonna moonwalk out onto the stage to Michael Jackson. And I did this beautiful, beautiful imitation of Michael Jackson. I moonwalk frontwards, backwards, around, and I popped, locked. I did all the moves.
Did you?
Yeah, to Michael Jackson playing as I entered the stage, and I recorded it, and it was the most beautiful video recording of any stand-up I've ever done. And then somebody pointed out, I was like, you got Michael Jackson playing over that thing. And I was like, oh, yeah. And they said, you can't do anything with this video now.
Oh, my God.
I can't even really put it on YouTube because it'll make me take it down.
Oh, because it's Michael Jackson. Well, I wonder if you can do it. You can't even do it with just the music and not the words, right?
I don't even know how to fix it.
Oh, wow.
I thought about trying to just take the music out and put something in, but I don't know what would make sense, especially if it's offbeat. It'll just look crazy.
Well, what if everybody comes tonight to see you at Stand Up NOLA? Y'all, this is Matt Owens. What if they come tonight? Will you moonwalk for them tonight?
Absolutely.
See? Absolutely. It can all be worked out.
But just in silence, man.
Yeah, just
that's the way to really make an impact.
You should watch this.
They're like, he just did that for 10 minutes in silence.
And so we have another comedian in the studio with you. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm CJ Hunt.
CJ. So we have a studio full of comedians. I want to kind of go through each one of you just to kind of get your background in comedy and how you got started. And then, I'm sure you'll make us laugh. Tony, are you funny? Let's see. Tony Frederick, how did you get started in comedy?
I used to rib people in 4th and 5th grade in grade school. Talk about people. Remember Spot Your Mama? Remember the old one? Spot Your Mama in the tree getting booted with Mr. T back in the day?
Oh, my gosh.
I just always been that dude. Remember doing the dozens? Remember you used to watch Good Time and people would do the dozens?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started, like, when I was a kid. And then after Katrina, I figured, what else could I lose? If I got booed on stage, I already lost my house, my business. How much more what can you do to me? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I took the stage after Katrina and just started doing that.
But it's funny, if y'all do not know Tony Frederick, make sure you follow him on one of his social media platforms. Because if you are ever having a bad day, just go to your social media platform and read his latest tweet or whatever he does. I'm telling you, it totally puts you in a different frame of
I follow
mind.
all of Tony's social media, and I really love it. I don't ever like or agree with anything on there because I don't want people to say, no.
I don't want him to think I think like him, right?
That's not how I feel, but that's hilarious.
Oh, my goodness. So how can they follow you on social media, Tony?
Hit me up at Creole Comic at Twitter, Creole Actor at Instagram, Tony Frederick, comedian Tony Frederick at Facebook.
And you actually act, too, because you've been in some other stuff here in New Orleans where people might know your face.
I've been in quite a bit.
Officer.
He won't brag. I'll brag on him.
Go ahead.
Do you know how many film credits that man has?
How many film credits
I
does
think
he
the
have?
last count it was like 41.
According to IMDb, but they're missing a few.
Calling you out, IMDb, if you're listening.
I get the residual checks, but they won't give me the credit. It's all good. I'll take that $2.60 residual check that they taxed, that is now $1.36 that I signed over to a homeless guy that they're going to charge him 30 cents at the check cashing place to cash.
That $1.36 roll. Tell us what it was, Tony.
It was The Big Easy back in 1996. Remember that TV series, The Big Easy, on USA Network? Got my SAG card doing that. They showed it in Spain last year.
Oh, really?
So is there a chance that, like, if you went to Spain, everyone would be like, it's him?
It's him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be speaking English.
Paparazzi and everyking.
People already walk up to me and start speaking Spanish because they think I'm Spanish. But they really saw it in Spain. You're lying. I saw you. You speak it. No.
You don't speak any Spanish?
Poquito.
Our listeners don't know, but I'm Black and Filipino, which means that
I know.
You know, yeah, and you know because
I can see you.
You can see my eyes and my skin.
Yeah.
But all the time, audiences, like black audiences, are like, who is this tiny Mexican teenager?
Yeah.
But when people roll up to me on the street, they'll speak Spanish, and I don't know any. But instead of assuming that they're like, oh, he's a different racial mix, they just think I'm some sort of bougie sellout.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you know Spanish. You just don't want to speak it, bougie.
I try to pawn them off to my white friends. I was like, hey, listen, if y'all don't have any black friends, you can start here. It's kind of the starter kit.
Yeah,
work your way up.
We're like the color. We're not really black. We're like Czech cream soda, like that tone, like a diet caramel tone. But people think I'm more Arabic because I grew the beard out now. Now when I go to places like, the Mediterranean, like Biblos, the guys are like, my friend.
They might not let you in the country with Donald Trump.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I look like a Syrian refugee now. And people, I don't understand. People are like, they're boycott. Oh, I don't want the Syrian refugees in New Orleans. Keep them out of New Orleans. Like, what are they going to do? These people are going to leave a place where they're most likely to be murdered, like in Syria, to come to New Orleans where they'll most likely be murdered. Right? Then they're driving down the street to get to whatever house they're going to, and it's like, who's been bombing New Orleans? Like, no, that's just potholes, baby. That's just potholes.
That's how it is.
Oh, my goodness. If you were wondering what we're doing on The Good Life today, we are having a ball. Joy Productions presents Stand Up NOLA. It's an evening of comedy, New Orleans comedy. Tonight, y'all, Friday, December 11th. You do not want to miss it. Tickets are available at www.thejoytheater.com. That is www.thejoytheater.com. I am in the studio with Matt Owens, Carrie B., and Tony Frederick. Our Tony Frederick, the Creole actor, will be starting the show.
And CJ Hunt.
Oh, I'm CJ Hunt.
Yeah.
And Julie Mitchell. Well, actually, I was reading this one, and I just wanted to see if you remembered that your name wasn't.
I mean, frequently I forget. Carrie B is such a good comedian and mentor in the scene. I'm like, damn, if I could just pat
Yeah, because they
myself
have the
off as
ladies
Carrie
here
B.
too, though.
Yeah, we have three women.
Ariel,
on the show.
Elias, and Allison Hotard.
Ariel Elias.
Okay, I'm glad
Elias.
you can pronounce things better.
Ariel Elias, Allison Hotard, and
Thank
Julie
you.
Mitchell. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I should have asked you to do
Yeah.
it.
So in the studio you have Matt Owens,
I was being funny.
CJ Hunt, and Tony Frederick,
And the spirit of Carrie B.
And the spirit of Carrie B. I know.
I should tell people so tonight you should get there early. I know how people in New Orleans are. We wait till the last
CP
minute.
time.
Yeah, everybody's just going to relax, and we're going to get there when we get there. The show, we're going to try to start on time tonight. There are VIP tickets for sale. We have VIP reserve seating. That's in the first 10 rows of the theater. So if you want reserve seating, it's an extra ticket price to sit in a reserved seating up front. But after that, all the seats are general admission.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to get a good seat, you need to get there on time to pick it. Otherwise, it could be, as we fill up, you could be, your choices could be way up in the balcony. So I want people to get there on time. Also, we like to hold for our audience so everybody can get in, and people will make you hold for an hour and a half because they're just hanging outside, we get in. People need to move in.
They need to
I'm
move
encouraging people to come into the theater.
I know that's the worst when you go somewhere early and you're like chilling and you end up being in the back and you're like, I got here early.
As you can tell from my entrance to the interview, I don't know that feeling anywhere early.
Well, that's cool. And it's funny, Tony, you were referencing crime in New Orleans with the Syrian refugees. But, it really is an issue now.
Yeah, it's an issue.
What are your thoughts?
About what? Crime in New Orleans?
Yes.
You have little things. This is my problem. I did a show in Covington last week, and I'm on stage and people in the audience and they're smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, oh wow, that's different now because it's illegal to smoke cigarettes in bars in New Orleans. But you know what else is illegal in New Orleans? Murder. But they can't get a handle on that. Like they're worried about enforcing cigarette bans, but they can't control the crime in the city.
Imagine that.
And it's dangerous everywhere. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think that's you can feel it too. I mean, it feels there's a tension. I feel like we were doing some press shots for this show when the marquee was all lit up and it's stand up NOLA and the names and stuff, and we were all excited. So we went out there, but traffic was bad, so we had to go really late at night, and we wanted to be able to set up equipment and take some good shots of the front of the Joy. And I remember thinking the whole night, man, I kind of feel like I might get shot. This feels uncomfortable. I wonder if it's if this is everybody feels that way.
I felt like I would get run over by the streetcar because I was standing in the middle of the track taking a picture of the Joy and almost got hit by a streetcar. So I thought about that more than getting shot.
Oh my gosh.
It was I usually don't feel that way or think that way, but I think just because it's so.
You need to follow your intuition these days.
Yeah, it feels like it's just too frequent.
So CJ.
I mean,
I got it right this time.
I'm also I'm also a very small man. So I agree with following your intuition, but for me, my intuition all the time is like run. Like anywhere I go, if it is sunset, my intuition is like
why is a
quickly
little Mexican
quickly.
teenager running down the street?
Yeah. My courage,
gosh.
my courage is the courage of someone who lives in some post-apocalyptic zombie future. I just always think something's gonna go down. Yeah.
Well, instead of running, maybe an Uber.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're trying to do the
He
show.
He would spend so much money on Uber if that was the case. He would just have
Catch a
$400.
cab. Coleman cab. Catch a Coleman
Let me
cab.
tell you something about Uber. A friend of mine, Corey Mack, is another comedian. He rents from me. So we live in the 7th. I live in the 7th ward, so he lives in the 7th ward by default.
You're 7th Ward Hardhead.
7th Ward Hardhead, right. So I grew up in the area. I know the area real well. A lot of people move into the area. They don't know it that well. It's like pointing a gun at a cow's face. They don't know they're in danger. They just move here from Austin or whatever, and they're like, oh, I wonder why the rent is so cheap over here, because there were 9 murders around the corner last year. That's why you just oblivious. You're riding your bike, you're walking your dog. I saw a white girl run past my house. I was looking for somebody chasing her because I had never seen a person run past my house without someone chasing them. And I'm like, no, she's just jogging. And it was like culture shock to me in my own neighborhood. Yeah. So Corey's like, one day I'm outside, and Corey's just sitting on the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh.
And he just hopped into the back of his car, and I'm like, where is he going? So I asked him later. He's like, oh, yeah, that was an Uber. I said, I didn't know you had an Uber account. I just started driving Uber. If you need a ride, just let me know sometime. He says, really? So I went online. He went online. He says, I'm going to request you. So he requested me. I saw it, and I canceled the ride. He said, why'd you cancel it?
Dangerous neighborhood?
I said, I don't pick nobody up in the 7th Ward, man. He said, man, this is your address. This is where you live. I said, yeah, I know it's bad around there, but they shot 2 people last week around the corner. Man,
I'm not driving over there.
I don't pick nobody up in the 7th Ward, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I had a neighbor, because we live right down the road, literally right here, and I had a neighbor say, did you hear all the fireworks last night? I was like, yeah, you're new to the neighborhood, aren't you?
Yeah, it's August.
Yeah.
It's hot. We don't know how to act when it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
We are on the show today. We are literally living the good life on the show today. We are in the studio with the comedians from Stand Up NOLA. It is an evening of New Orleans comedy. I am in the studio with Matt, Owens, CJ Hunt, and the Tony Frederick that you all know and love. So make sure that you go support them and the host of other comedians tonight, December 11th at the Joy Theater. Doors open at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at www.thejoytheater.com. That is www.thejoytheater.com. Doors open at 7 p.m. Make sure you're there at 6:50.
Yeah, 6:50.
6:50.
Yeah, if we tell everybody 6:50, maybe they'll make it by 7:10.
There you go. See? This is the good life. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Viola Washington.
And this is Andrew Rhodes.
Join us every Friday morning at 10 a.m. for Reality Check, where we discuss the Unfairness of the Road Home program and other community issues.
Again, that's Reality Check every Friday at 10 a.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. Real talk for real times.
Hello? I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
Stay a step ahead of your competition with the Signs Now Advantage. We'll provide you with the right solution for your graphic and sign needs. Services include project management, on-time performance, local service with global connections, and the Letter Perfect guarantee. So stay a step ahead of your competition with the Signs Now Advantage.
Visit signsnow.com or call 504-523-6699.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
At Entergy, we plan 20 years ahead
to provide the power you need
and keep it affordable,
reliable,
and safe.
We're adding new modern generation.
And we're dedicated to clean, sustainable energy.
Like nuclear.
And natural gas.
We're using our brightest minds
to build a brighter future.
For your kids.
And their kids.
That's the power of people. Entergy.
This is a message from Entergy New Orleans, Incorporated.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are on The Good Life Friday, and I am here to warm your heart and your soul, but today we're really going to tickle your heart and your soul, I guess. We are here with the comedians of Stand Up NOLA. It's an evening of New Orleans comedy. I am here with the Matt Owens, the CJ Hunt, and the Tony Frederick, and you've probably seen him on a couple different things in New Orleans, and I've known him for a little while, and so when he told me about this event, I was like, yeah, y'all, please come crack us up. Please come crack up the listeners. And I know that they're going to do that for everyone tonight. So make sure you check them out tonight, December 11th. That is tonight, y'all. Friday, December 11th, tonight. Doors open at 7 p.m. Make sure you're there at 6:50 because, we're on CPT.
Well, the parking meters stop working at 6. So if you want to park close to the event,
just wait.
Wait till 6.
There you go.
Jump on one of those empty parking slots.
I was going to say we got tickets, VIP tickets in the front 10 rows for $30. That's a VIP ticket. There's a meet and greet after the show. You get to meet the comedians, and you'll get a signed marquee poster. And there's a little bit of merch they probably throw your way. And then the rest of the seats in the house are $20 for general admission. So it's $30 for VIP seating, $20 for general admission, and doors at 7, show at 8.
Yeah. We know New Orleans people like to be last minute, show up. You got that hot 20 in your pocket. Don't buy those 10 Powerball tickets. You're going to lose. You're going to cry when you realize you picked the numbers furthest from the numbers that are actually being pulled. So take that hot 20, buy your ticket to the show, come laugh. 8 of the funniest comedians in the city. Then we have comedians that nationally tour. They're from New York. They're back in town. You got some people you haven't seen in a while. New material. Come check it out.
And honestly, I've known you for a little while, so, you crack me up. But I hadn't gone to that many comedy shows. And when I went to one, I was like, why haven't I done this? Mm-hmm. It literally warms your heart and soul because, you've had a rough week. And you just, sometimes you need to just, de-stress and let it out. And, y'all kind of, do it for us, kind of.
The level of talent in New Orleans,
up here.
We can compete with anybody. New York.
Absolutely.
Anybody.
So most of the people at this table, all of us at this table have performed all over the country, and I'm not only a comedian and performer, but I'm a huge fan of comedy. I go watch comedy.
How'd you get your start?
I started doing stand up in high school.
And this is Matt Owens.
Hi, I'm Matt Owens. I started doing stand up in high school. I was, I guess a typical story. I was the class clown. I was the funniest, and all that kind of stuff. And I had a teacher. I had a teacher who I disrupted the class all the time.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. And she asked me to stay after class one day. She said, "Mr. Owens, can I see you after class?" And the whole class said, "Ooh." And I thought, "Oh man, I'm in big trouble." And she kept me after class. She said, "They're starting a drama department here at the school, and I think you ought to audition. They're going to do a play next semester. I think you should audition." I was like, "I'm not doing that. I play football. I hang out. I'm not drama. I'm not doing drama. No, thank you." She said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Either you're going to try out, or I'm going to put you in detention for the rest of the semester because I've had enough of you disrupting my class. If you don't find an outlet for it, you're going to detention for the whole semester." I said, "I'll audition."
This reads like out of a teaching movie.
That's right.
My teachers were just like, "Get the hell out of class."
Yeah.
Your teachers are like, "You have attention."
Her name was Edwards James Olmos, and she said, "Come this way, I'll show you." So she really did. She threatened me with a big big punishment, being in school detention, in school suspension.
But it's amazing how the teacher, saw something in you, and rather than discouraging you, she gave you an outlet for your abilities.
We're still really close. I email her and talk to her quite often. This is really kind of a emotional moment. I took a big my name says Matt Owens on the marquee at the Joy, and I took a picture and I sent it to her and I said, "See what you started."
Oh my goodness!
See, that's great because that Matt, we're about the same age, and back then teachers really did a lot to encourage you.
Absolutely.
And now they just want to have sex with you.
Right.
Now they look at a student and pull them out.
I would have done that
and
too.
end up on the news.
That would have been the kind of punishment I was, kind of fingers crossed. But she was a bit older.
Oh my goodness. If you all want to, have any comments or questions for our comedians, please give us a call at 504-260-9265. That's 504-260-9265, because that is a good life. If you have a topic of conversation or you want some information about tonight, please just give us a call, 504-260-9265. I'm opening the lines because Lee always tells me I forget to open the lines. So they are officially open. Call us. So CJ, how did you get started?
I
what
think what happened was my body stopped growing in 3rd grade.
Isn't that funny? Comedians, their stories go all the way back. When did you start comedy? Well, it was 3rd grade.
It was 3rd grade on a Tuesday, and I realized my body was like, 5 foot, you're good. Stay here, man. Stay here for the rest of your life, dude.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I was smaller than that in 3rd grade. But anyways, when that happens, to a boy, you realize that you're going to need some other tools in life. You know what I mean? Like when you can't hang on the sports team and, you're not popular, you're like...
You weren't popular?
No. I was bait. I was able to be picked on. So my mind was like, quick, develop some other mechanism. And then, some bully was telling me...
You're hilarious.
Oh, well,
all of y'all are.
Yeah, see, let's talk about this. See, Tony's big. He's a big man, and he's mean. And he picks on people. And CJ, he's little, and he's hilarious. He doesn't ever pick on anyone. And I don't understand this dynamic.
I'm not mean.
Yes, you are.
No, no. That's a character. I'm acting. I'm really a nice guy. People don't get that. I need that in the street to intimidate people so I'm not robbed. I look like a cop on purpose so people don't rob me. And cops don't abuse. You see what I'm saying? I need to play the line. So a cop won't shoot me unarmed, and a criminal won't rob me.
That's what CJ.
It took years to develop this, okay?
That's what CJ does. CJ, don't you have a method of avoiding trouble?
Yeah. Do you guys have a crazy walk?
But I would love to see
I've developed
yours.
a special night walk where you just have to walk like you're the craziest person on the street. You don't have to walk like you're big. You don't have to walk like you're tough. You don't have to walk fast. You just have to walk crazier than anyone else on the street, and you're good.
And they'll leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So, Matt, do you have how do you distract the crazies? Do you have a crazy?
I look crazy. I look very crazy. I don't.
You just are crazy.
I don't. I think that. Yeah, I look like a crazy white dude. I mean, I look like Michael McDonald.
He looks like Michael McDonald. Yes, he does.
And I think that I forget I look like this. By the way, I completely forget.
We do not.
Yeah, I forget. When people take pictures of me, I'm like, oh man, who's that old dude? Oh, that's me. I forget. In my head, I'm still 17. This happens all the time. I'll talk to a girl. I'll be like, hey, how's it going? She goes, fine. I say, you doing good today? She says, yes, sir. I'm like, oh. Oh, and all reality comes roaring back. Oh, man, I'm old.
See, you look like that guy who murdered 6 people and
I know.
got away with it.
I know.
Like no one questioned you.
I know.
They never thought it was you. Like you can. It's easy to do something to people. It's hard to get away with it. You look like that guy that got away with it. Like you never suspected. So everyone's afraid of him because it's like no one ever investigated. They'll never find out.
Yeah.
Who off them.
Yeah. I don't think people can figure me out. Luckily, I have kind eyes. That's the only thing I can.
You do.
That's something that someone who killed people would say.
I know.
Luckily, I have kind eyes.
Yeah. Can you help me get to my car?
And speaking of killing people, this is the holiday season. And so we're all like gearing up to get our minds right, to get ready to see our family, some that we haven't seen, And I don't know if y'all were on Twitter, but I'm sure y'all are comedians, so you got a little glimpse of it, like that Thanksgiving clapback. when somebody tells you something crazy, your first little crazy response that you respond to them. What do you suggest for people who are about to get ready to go to the holidays and they're about to see everybody for Christmas? People are stressed during Christmas time. I got to see these crazy people that I haven't seen for a while. Like, what do you do?
Prayer.
I just avoid them. I don't see anybody. I'll just go. I'll show up, get a couple bowls of gumbo, and bounce out. I won't say bye. I don't say bye. You go to people's. I don't say. You walk in, you say hi to everybody. I just sneak out. I just drink all the alcohol.
What's the phrase for that? Is it called like a?
Huh?
What's the word when you?
I can't say it.
Irish goodbye.
No, we weren't going to say it because that's a stereotypical word, Matt.
I don't know what that means.
That the Irish are very fast.
The Irish leave without saying goodbye. Is that typical?
No, I don't think so. My strategy is you just got to deflect. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So you got to make a situation where you're never the subject of conversation. So when that crazy relative is coming by you and is just like,
that's how you talk to me.
It's true.
I just realized that. Every time we're in a conversation, you keep throwing the story back to me. So how's it going with you?
Yeah, no, you just got to deflect. So when that uncle comes by and is like, did you know aliens are real? You just turn to your other family member. You're like, Craig, what was that thing that you were telling us the other day? And then you just send the crazies to Craig, and then you sneak out with the gumbo.
You always have that.
Walk out with Tony.
Yep.
Or Crown. Crown fixes everything for me. You just give me a bottle. I'll bring my own.
Oh.
And you drink like a half a bottle of Crown, and nothing affects you anymore. That's like my answer.
So we could list them in descending orders. Number one, first thing you always should go to is prayer.
Prayer.
Second, just leave.
Leave.
Third, get drunk.
Drunk.
That's it.
All right.
That's not a bad list.
You can show up drunk. Just show up drunk.
With anticipation.
Then no one will take you serious.
Oh, they're just crazy.
He's drunk already.
With full anticipation. But you have that aunt or that uncle that always knows how to hit that one nerve. Mm-hmm. And that one person that always hits that nerve, and you're like, if you hit this nerve one more time, I'm going to explode. Everybody else is going to think I'm crazy because I'm responding. Right, but it's because you've been hitting the nerve.
This is how you get people to leave you alone. Ask them for money. Straight up. Just ask them for money.
I think that's the best answer.
As soon as they open their mouth, look, man, can you just loan me $375? Not like $100. Just give them a crazy obscure $378 I need, and they're not gonna talk to you no more that day. Trust me, they're gonna avoid you. Actually, that's
bring some paperwork with
you. That's the best way to break up with me. Just ask me for money. I date girls the way I play Candy Crush. We can fool around and have fun, but as soon as you ask me for money, I got to delete you out my phone. That's just.
You can tell he's a true ladies' man. He's up front with how he dates girls. Yeah, but I think that asking for money is a good strategy. You just show up at your family Christmas and you're like, hello, everybody. My name is CJ. This is going to only take a moment of your time. Things are not going well for me, as you know, from being in my family.
Right. And it's that time of year. I had to buy a Christmas present for the kids. January's coming around.
I'll be doing a little bit of breakdancing in the corner. And then I'll be coming very close to you.
The hat
work
is
your
right
way
here.
around the room.
Pass the hat.
You could have a hype man just walk around with get your change for you. Like, I'm going to send him around in a minute. I'm going to be over here dancing.
Just tell everyone you started selling life insurance and you want to talk to them for 5 minutes.
Oh, my God.
They'll avoid you. That's the first ones you go to is the family first.
Yeah.
You got to call everyone in your family first. When you sell I used to sell life insurance. And trust me, I ain't talked to anybody for a good year. They avoided me. That and a timeshare.
Like the
Oh, my Tell them you have a deal for them. I got a great investment opportunity for you. They will leave you alone.
I like that. So ask them,
So what is this? The Thanksgiving How to Avoid Your Family Clapback?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's on Twitter. Mm-hmm. It was a big thing, Thanksgiving clapback. So it's they had one, this, I guess an aunt told the girl, she's like, oh, you look like you're, you didn't finish college or whatever. She's like, oh, it looks like that button about to pop off your pants. Because you've eaten so much. So, it was quick little
quick
quirks.
jab.
Yeah, quick jabs. Because, you have that one person, that family member that likes to give the underhanded jab. Everybody has that family member, that passive-aggressive jab. And you can only take so much until you respond.
Right.
So it was basically the passive-aggressive person at Thanksgiving, you finally clap back.
Yeah, that
so
one,
now you're getting ready for Christmas. It's going to be Christmas clap back, I'm guessing.
Back?
I don't know. What are they going to name it? What's the deal?
Like, what happened to that guy you brought to Christmas last year? What happened to your edges?
Yes. Yeah, like they ask you what happened to the ex while you're standing there with a new boyfriend. You're like, really? You know you have that relative that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you that relative?
No, I don't. I stay out of people's business.
Mm-hmm.
I stay out of people's business. I don't mess with people. That's the thing. People is like, oh, you comedian. Matt says I'm mean. I don't start with anybody. But as soon as they start with me, I wish they did. As soon as they start, I'm a driver.
I could not imagine starting an argument with like a comedian at all, because I'm sure y'all know how to handle it and like just go back and forth and not really let it affect you, because
that means our exterior is effective. That's what we're trying to do. We started it when we were kids to avoid any trouble, and if it is still working, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm the peacekeeper in my family.
Yeah, I'm too.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I'm a peacekeeper with any kind of, all of them. Everybody in my life. I'm always sort of like, hey, I'm the spiritual sandpaper, I like to call myself. I just smooth out all the edges.
You smooth out all the edges. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to smooth out the edges with our commercial break. But make sure that you stay tuned. We are here with the comedians of Stand Up NOLA. I am in the studio with Matt Owens, CJ Hunt, and Tony Frederick. Make sure you do not miss them tonight, December 11th at Joy Theater. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In a world that we all live in, there is one man who answers the calls. One man brave enough to ask the tough questions. One man who speaks truth when others seek lies. When New Orleans wants a hero, that man is Ro Brown on Sportifacts, bringing the sports knowledge from past, present, and future. Sportifacts with Ro Brown, airing every Friday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Only on 12:30 a.m. WBOK.
The New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce presents the 2015 Biz to Biz Breakfast and Trade Fair, Friday, December 11th at the Hyatt Regency, 601 Loyola Avenue. Featuring a keynote address from award-winning author and business consultant Clifton Talbert. It's the 2015 Biz to Biz Breakfast and Trade Fair, Friday, December 11th at the Hyatt Regency. Registration begins at 8. For more information or to purchase tickets, please visit www.norbchamber.org or call 504-948-0991. That's 504-948-0991. It's the Biz to Biz Breakfast and Trade Fair, brought to you by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, Friday, December 11th at the Hyatt Regency, 601 Loyola Avenue. Don't miss it, the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, moving business forward. Hello? I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
You're on the move and so is your bank. Liberty Bank now offers you the power to manage your money from the palm of your hand with mobile banking with Liberty Bank. Whether you need to check balances, transfer money, or view transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download our mobile app. You can mobile bank at Liberty Bank to keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNOLA.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, then women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. Join me, Timberland Sam Sumter, Fridays at 1 p.m. on Pumps, Pearls, and Politics, where we will dive into topics that highlight the triumphs and challenges surrounding the complex lives of women, providing a cultural understanding of the past, present, and shaping future policies while encouraging and supporting women in the shoes they choose to walk in. That's Pumps, Pearls, and Politics, Friday at 1 p.m. on WBOK, 12:30 a.m., where we have real talk for real times.
WBOK, 12:30 a.m., the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Welcome to the good life.
I didn't know if I wanted to intro. I kind of like listening to these gentlemen sing. I am in the studio with 3 fabulous comedians. They have been cracking me up throughout the break. So make sure you come out tonight at Stand Up NOLA. It's an evening of New Orleans comedy, December 11th. Tonight, y'all, Friday, tonight at the Joy Theater. Doors open at 7 p.m. Be there at 6:53. That's a good time?
That's a good time.
That's a good time. Okay, 6:53. Tickets are available at www.thejoytheater.com. That's www.thejoytheater.com.
We've got VIP tickets for sale.
VIP.
Up front, they're $30, and general admission tickets are $20.
$20, y'all. $20. Y'all know y'all had a long week.
$20.
You know you had a long week. Let somebody crack you up. Like they're cracking me up.
Yeah, it's a hot 20 in your pocket. That 20 burner hole in your pocket. Spend that money. Come see 8 comedians for one price. 8 funny comedians.
8 of the best comedians in the country.
Right.
And you didn't need to get a car wash this week. It didn't rain, so use that 20 to come see you. Right?
And it's also like it's the perfect night out. It's the perfect
It
date.
is.
I mean, there's
It
just
is.
something about comedy when you go and see it and it's good that it just brings you to another level. Makes you forget about your crappy week.
I think it's a great first date because you don't have to talk, and it's a great 20-year marriage date because you don't have to talk.
Yep. And it's also a good test because if that person doesn't have a sense of humor,
you can say it.
What are you doing dating?
Or what if they laugh at something really jacked up? You're like, man, I can see where this is going. You kind of weed it out. You're like, hey, I don't know if this is going to last.
Or what if she laughs at my really
filthy stuff?
Filthy sex jokes that I'm going to tell tonight.
That's a winner.
And you know this Friday night might end great, son, because you got to
put a ring on it.
Put a Nuva ring on it.
Yeah. See how that works? You just boom.
And I think there's also something pretty great about seeing these comedians in the joy. You know what I mean? Like they're comedy is this profession where so much of the time we're working in these back rooms or we're on the road, and to be playing playing on our home turf in one of the biggest stages in New Orleans.
I was about to say.
That's a great way to go support all these people who are making a name for New Orleans comedy.
Absolutely, because y'all have traveled all over the nation. I know Matt said that earlier, but really, I mean, it's not like we're just getting, smoky room
Yeah.
comedy. We're getting like real comedy.
No.
Seasoned comedians. And it's all different styles. Matt did a great job of putting the show together because everyone has a different style. Even, us three sitting here, we're all guys, but we all have our different styles of comedy. You're going to get a good variety of comedy. Like whatever you like, you're probably going to see it tonight. It's not one particular style.
Right.
Everyone has their own
What's the
story.
style? What's the difference in style?
Everyone's premise, everyone's experience. I mean, you have females on here, you have young guys, old guys. You have different types of people with different types of comedies.
Well, I have a great question for you because comedy is based on experience. Is it hard sometimes for you to like open up and really put yourself out there? Because comedians really put themselves out there. A lot of kind of stuff that people are like, I would never say that, but you all just put it out there and like, yeah, I said it, and what?
I think that happens a lot. I'll my best material, the best stuff that gets the biggest laughs is usually pretty sort of,
like the biggest wound.
The biggest something that was pretty deep, and usually if I can sort of mine that well of how this really affected me, usually in a bad way, usually emotionally in some way, can I start to talk about it? And I often will write some of that stuff out and then think, well, I'm not ready to talk about that yet,
Right.
or I want to start exploring that, but I haven't been able to make it funny yet. So some of my set is really tragic. I mean, it's really some of the darkest times of my life, but it's hilarious because I finally found a way to discuss it that's funny, and then most of it's pointing the finger at me,
Right. Yeah. Tragedy breeds comedy. That's what happened. Like after Katrina, it was cathartic for me. I had an outlet to just release all of these thoughts that I had in my head, and people would laugh at it. And the narcissist in me loved the attention, so I just kept doing it, and it was like my own little therapy. And then I realized, well, I'm pretty funny. I can keep doing it, and then I can make a few dollars at it. And I just kept doing it. And the thing was, it's like the tragedies never end. They keep happening, so I'm always going to have material, right?
Right.
And then other people relate to it. Let me tell you something how powerful comedy is, and I took this for granted. I did a show one night. And I was just going to do a bunch of A material that I knew worked, and I decided I'm just going to do a whole bunch of new material, things that I was going through. And a guy came up to me after the show, and he said, man, let me tell you something. You have no idea the impact that you had on me tonight. He said, I came here by myself. I was thinking about killing myself.
Wow.
Dude said I wanted to commit suicide. And he said, I came out, and I watched this show, and I laughed. And, like, you made me realize I'm not by myself. Like, you have the same thing that I actually talked about a subject that this guy was going through.
Oh
and I wasn't going to talk about that. But for some reason, I ended up just throwing. I didn't know I was going to get laughed. It was open mic. I said, let me try some new stuff to see how I can make this funny. Because sometimes if you can't do something, and this is how I sort of, like, learn to live.
Yeah.
I start worrying about things I can't control.
Thank you.
So I try to learn to laugh at the things that I can't control. And that's the only way I can cope with it, is to try to find a humor in it.
That's the good life, Tony.
So, right. So now I affected this guy, and I had no idea what type of, and I felt kind of like, wow, you trusted me with this power that I saved your life, kind of. I don't want that responsibility, but at the same time, I'm glad that I was there because we're all here for a purpose.
There are no
we're all here for a purpose.
You were there to help him.
Right, and I didn't even know that. He didn't know that. But that's what comedy does. That 1 hour you're sitting in, that 2 hours, you're able to escape the pain, the reality, your long week, the Monday through Friday. Now, Friday, you come enjoy happy hour with us. It's a bar and a joy. You grab a few drinks. You listen to everyone talk. And in those 8
Buy
people,
Tony a crown so he'll be
buy
fine.
me a crown, and I'll tell you a personal story after the show in the meet and greet. Right? Ask me anything. Because if you ask me anything when I'm drinking crown, I'll probably tell you anyway.
But that's comedy in general. People forget about that. People are like, I'm just here to laugh. But at its base, you laugh because you recognize something that's true. So it's this way of being like, you're not alone. Do you ever notice how this happens? Do you ever stay up at night afraid of this thing? Yeah. And people are laughing because we've done some good acrobatics with the premise, but they're also like, thank you. I now have permission to laugh at that. To think about that or to feel that. I've seen Matt on stage at a storytelling show that I was running, telling a story about addiction, and people are both cracking up, but you also see other people like really nodding and feeling it, of been like, I've been in that situation as well.
I think that's the thing about comedy. It does bring us together because through our tears, we can find laughter. And when you can find laughter, it kind of brings you full circle and it starts to heal those things as well. Because when you were discussing that, I was really like, I do it right here on the radio show as well. I tell my personal business, I'm like, I can't believe I said that. But I feel like a weight is lifted after. Do you kind of feel like a weight is lifted after you get on the stage and you deliver?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that, I find that the bottom line is we want to make people laugh. I mean, that's the goal. We want to be really, really funny. But I think once you start developing and once you start sort of expanding as a comic, that the silly little observation about the guy at the corner store is not funny anymore. You've got to get bigger. It's got to be deeper. And so I started finding things that were more important to me, I guess, or things become more important. And so the goal is to make people laugh. And you've got to find a way to make it funny, regardless. But I also, I have a little prayer I say before every show, and it's really just about let me connect to everyone in here on a deep level. That it's not just a fly over your head, ha ha ha, get out the room. Just that it lands, and that people are connected throughout the theater on a deep level, and that sort of can bring laughter to a broken world, that something will happen, and I think that that's a powerful request. I think that's a powerful,
absolutely.
Powerful.
And it's funny because I think you are connecting with a lot of people right now. So make sure you all go out tonight and support Stand Up NOLA Comedy tonight, Friday, December 11th. You can get your tickets at www.thejoytheater.com. That is www.thejoytheater.com. $20, y'all. If you want to be VIP and really see Tony and the guys, you can get a little closer and pay $30. But it's funny because you're talking about touching people. And I think you're inspiring a lot of people out there that really do think they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
You always have that person at the family thing that think they're funny. Mm-hmm. So for those people who think they're funny, how do they get their starts? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you just show up at like an open mic?
Yeah, you got to show up at an open mic.
Because there are people listening who think they're funny.
Somebody asked me,
who really are funny.
Yeah, somebody asked me, said, how did you start comedy? How do I get started? I'm really thinking on it. So I said, well, you go to open mics, you start doing it. And they said, well, how do you know if you're funny? I said, the audience will let you know real quick whether you're funny or not.
Immediately.
You'll know in the first 30 seconds whether you're funny or not. So you don't have to ask anybody.
Each of you quickly, what was your first experience?
My first experience was on stage at someone's house after Katrina, like September 14th. I went to L.A.
Oh, wow.
And I was this producer who I just worked with in New Orleans doing a film. I wasn't a refugee. I was an evacuee. He was a refugee. He was in the water. Evacuee left before the storm. So I was out there, and the guy's like, let me stay, you want to stay by my house? He had like a guest house, this huge mansion, and he produced this TV show that was on a network. I'm not going to talk about it. But he had the premiere, and he had like a showcase, and the guy that was on American Idol was there singing. He had like a lot of people from Hollywood in the audience, and I said, you know what? I don't have anything else to lose. I've always wanted to tell some jokes. So they were like, you want to get on stage? I got on stage. And I just told this joke that I wrote on the plane over there, and that was my first time, like September 2005. I was like, I had like the clothes on my back and that was it. And it was a way for me just to, it was a joke about Katrina. It was my first joke. And I'm standing in front of this room full of strangers, and I grabbed the mic and I was like, hi, my name's Tony. Colony Vet's been nice enough to let me stay at their home. I'm a Katrina evacuee. I lost everything to Katrina. I lost my house, my car, my clothes, my dog, money. I lost everything to Katrina. Not Katrina, the hurricane, Katrina, my ex-wife. She took everything, right? And the room was silent because you got to remember that window was open. They almost started writing checks like a telethon out there. I should have held it longer. I might have made some money. But it was like that laughter when they hit me with it. I was like, oh, okay, I think I can maybe do this. That was it. I had that and 2 other jokes. I had 3 jokes. That was it. And then it was like I couldn't lose anything else. So if I got booed, and it wasn't going to boo me. I was a refugee. Come on, evacuate, whatever. It wasn't going to boo me. But, but it gave me the courage and the confidence to go back and try it again and continue to write and develop and whatnot. But everyone has to start somewhere. If you think you're funny, it's much different than hanging around a water cooler or friends who know you and you're just being funny. When you got that mic and you're on the stage by yourself.
Yeah, I call it the difference between campfire funny and stand-up funny. Yeah. There's a big difference between campfire funny.
What was your experience?
Right.
Matt?
My experience was good. I didn't have a whole lot of material, and I didn't get, I didn't get an applause break or this roaring, laughter. But it kind of went the way you'd expect it. They were kind of like, that was good, and then they were like, not so much. And so it was just kind of, I guess, the nice baseline. Mm-hmm. But I got some big laughs. And the guy that ran the mic that I did first, he said, yeah, you come back, come back next week.
Well, that's all you needed.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I will. And 2 minutes turned into 3 minutes, and then into 5, and then you just keep building.
CJ, what was your experience?
CJ, I'm telling you, I want to make sure everybody on the radio world hears that CJ Hunt is one of the funniest people that I've ever seen, and nationally, not just in New Orleans, all over the country. He's an incredible writer. He's an incredible stand-up comedian. He's an incredible actor. He's an incredible improviser. His improvising skills are amazing. He's got he did a web series called Sunken City, which is fantastic. He's got a sketch comedy team that films and does film sketch all the time. He recently directed and produced a sketch they did called Drawing Strength. It is really not only beautifully shot, it's hilarious, but his stand-up is razor sharp.
CJ, how can we follow you?
You can follow me at GoCJ Hunt on Twitter.
Go CJ.
Or GoCJHunt.com. But either way, I try to make a lot of video products for the same reason that we're putting up the show at the Joy, which is just most of the country doesn't know yet that we are becoming a comedy capital. And one of the quickest ways to do that, besides a big old show in one of the biggest theaters, is making a lot of video material. So I've been doing that for a while. And stand-up is much newer. And for a long time, I was just doing characters on stage. And you can kind of hide behind a character, because when the character's not funny, it's just that the audience doesn't get the character.
Right.
So my first jokes were some dumb jokes about how like the night's not going well if you're eating chips in a bar, like if you order the chips. And the audience was just like, okay. And it felt so bad that I was like, I'm never going to let that happen again. You got to come back. And that's how a lot of people know that they're made for stand-up, when they fail the first time and you're like, I'm hungry to get better. I'm hungry to get better.
Right. The bombing, although it's soul crushing and it feels like you're about to, it's also, I think for us, we walk off stage, we immediately go back to the drawing board. Why didn't that work? Why wasn't it funny? What did I do wrong? Where was it? Because some people will say, oh, it was a bad audience. That's never true.
No.
It's not a bad audience.
Yeah, I have my set list and I go back and I strike off everything that I said. Then I start realizing the things that I forgot and left out, which is the middle of the joke. And that hurts.
That's why it didn't work. Well, tonight they are not going to forget the middle of the joke. You're going to get an incredible show tonight, December 11th, Friday, December 11th. Y'all, that is tonight. Make sure you are at the Joy. Stand Up NOLA. It's an evening full of New Orleans comedy. These comedians have been all over the United States, probably all over the world, and now they are here in your city. So make sure you go and support them. We are in the studio with Matt Owens, CJ Hunt, and Tony Frederick. Make sure you follow them on all of their social media platforms, because that is the good life. And make sure you stay tuned for Money Monday. And make sure you open your mind to live differently, because that's good life. I'm out.
Love you.